Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday, the 26th of November 2024. So peace prompts panic selling in gold, oil, crypto and yield curve reinverts, which is not good news. US stocks and bonds were underpinned on Trump's pick for Treasury Secretary, and that's what sent the markets higher on Sunday night. More on that in just a moment. Stocks and bonds catch a bid on Bessent. Treasury pick, I think it's called, that's how you pronounce it, Bessent, or Bessent, yeah, Bessent, I think it is. And of course, we had the peace talks as well. Israel and Lebanon agree to terms of ceasefire, just as the LBMA sets the price for the silver and gold, which tanked. And there's the headline there for yesterday, but that was released on Sunday night, which sent the markets moving to the upside. So there we go. We got to the bottom of it in the end. And then, of course, just to add to the woes, we had the peace agreement. It's going to be a tentative one because you can't see these sticking at all. It's just a temporary thing as we go into Thanksgiving, just to make sure that nobody gets indigestion from the turkey. So, yeah, we'll see, won't we? But let's have a look at the markets and kick off with the Dow. So yesterday we had the gap up. The gap hasn't been filled in the daily charts at all, and we're up on the overnight as well. Not as big as I thought, given the release of that statement by Israel. I don't think people actually believe it, because they've had so many in the past where they've been released and then they've been revoked or failed to hold. But yesterday you can see 230, the market continuing to move up, but then there's this decline down to the R1 before we then had a bounce back up, and you can see a 78% retracement there as prices move back up from there down to there. Takes you, well, it's actually 89. You get used to seeing these in the charts. There's an 89% retracement there, and if we go from this low up to here, you'll see we're back in 78, 89 down here as well. So at the moment, again, we've got a situation here as well. If we go from the high there to there, we're back at 78, 89 as well. So the market got a bit of a fib resistance there as well, but it is above the DP at the moment and above the 50 EMA and not too far off the high. That said, though, each time the market's tried to come back, it's been less than the main high that we have over here. In the German DAX, this was, again, it gapped up, but filled the gap in the German DAX and down on the overnight at the moment as well. Just have a look at the 30-minute chart. Yesterday, just sideways, choppy afternoon for sure. The morning session wasn't too bad, and then overnight we've seen a decline in the prices here as they've come back and bounced off this psychological level and sitting at the S1 there at the moment, and also below yesterday's low, so some weakness still pervading in the European area there. So yeah, a bit of weakness around there, but coming off the 20-bar moving average area as well in the daily chart. And in the S&P 500, didn't quite make a new all-time high yesterday, but overnight prices coming back. And you can see there yesterday exploding to the upsides. Gap is filled in this one, as you can see there. So down to the close and then back up to the psychological level there of 6,000 before the market is pushed lower overnight down to yesterday's low before bouncing off this area. Meanwhile, in the UK, also the market fills the gap, and 89% retracement is still giving the market a bit of grief there in the daily charts. And in the 30-minute chart, very choppy yesterday. And of course, if you've not seen the petition for a new election, which of course is never going to happen, not a cat in hell's chance, but it's fascinating to see that people are making a statement about the current incumbent, which includes me. Hold my hands up. Disclosure there. I think everybody should, just as a matter of principle. But like I say, nothing will happen because they have a majority. They don't even need to discuss it. But it's interesting to see that the public opinion there, that's about all it is as much use for. Market down to the low on the overnight for the FT100. But again, this shakeout, don't know why, but we've had a bit of a shakeout there in the European markets overnight. US dollar has jumped overnight, but is currently moving to the downside since we had that spike on Friday. The market sort of sideways to higher there for the dollar. Let's have a look at the metals and brace yourself. if you are an investor such as I am in this area, because we got absolutely monkey hammered yesterday, and I don't think it's over by a long shot. So let's start off with silver, down to the 200 MA. I did mention this in yesterday's alert. They're going to do whatever they can to hammer the metals, and appointing Bessent was an ideal one for this, because he's a crypto fan. So Bitcoin headed towards 100,000, and everything else just got smashed. Whether that will remain, I don't know. When Bitcoin gets to 100,000, then we could expect a pullback. But gold and silver for the foreseeable future are going to be sideways to lower. Again, you've got the peace talks. Whether they hold is another thing, but it's enough to actually get the price down. And this is when the peace talks were released. The market moving lower. Climatic volume there at $30 an ounce, and we bounced off that on the overnight as well. Personally, I think it's going lower, at least another $4 or $5, because new broom and all the rest of it coming in January. At the moment, I don't see any reason why, barring a geopolitical event, to move these prices higher, unless, the only caveat that I would say is unless they've used this as a way to actually buy at lower prices. I mean, considering that Russia's central bank is now buying physical silver, India and China, the demand is still as great. Fundamentally, it's fine. But when the banks have got control of the derivatives, it's a different animal altogether. And I've seen that for the last 30 plus years. And in gold, monkey hammered, absolutely hammered yesterday, more so than when Trump was elected, on the basis of him appointing Bessent. And also the peace talks trying to bounce back, but I think you've got another leg down yet to this low here, which again, central banks have been buying more gold since 2010 than any other time in history, but the best way to buy it is to actually hammer the price and buy it cheaper, and those days like yesterday are the perfect ideal. And now you can see the mention of the peace talks, and Bosch were down, and we've already tested yesterday's low as well at $26.05. $2,600 is going to be the key there. Break that, we go down in free fall. By the looks of things from the bigger time frames that I looked at yesterday. So in the gold silver ratio, we've broken out of this sort of sideways area there, as we can see, and heading back towards the 90 area. It's fine by me. You can take it as low as you want. I'll just buy more, because one day it's when the debt continues to grow at 36 trillion. Let me just bring that up for you if you've never seen this. So there you go, there's the US debt clock in real time. You can see the debt is 36 trillion, and the amount of interest to be paid, debt per taxpayer, and on all the rest of it. So yeah, you can see what's going on there and how it's ticking up. One day it's got to come to an end, but at the moment they keep kicking the can, and they'll continue to kick the can as well as we go forward. They've managed to get away with it since 2008, and they're still getting away with it, and I suspect they're going to get away with it for the next 4, maybe 5 years. Certainly while Trump's in there, he'll find a way. He doesn't mind printing money. He printed 8 trillion the last time he was in, so we shall see. So let's have a look at yesterday's trades before I conclude. So in the pre-market, we saw prices moving higher, and let's just whiz through this. We've got the market opening up, no surprise there after what happened overnight, and then we had obviously a potential sell signal as the traders were wrong-footed. Market then moved down to the BRN, as you can see there, and as it started to come back, taking the profits off the table. It did go sideways, but you can see it held, and then eventually it moved down to the high and the low. I got out too soon there, again, seems to be a thing of the moment, but should have left the stop in its original spot there, but nonetheless still a profit, and difficult situation at the moment given the volatility of even just the announcement of a new Treasury secretary can have such an influence and create such volatility. So we had another trade there, just trading down to the scalp, and then we go into the mid-morning there, going back below the high and then trying to come back above the high, which it managed to succeed. And then in the afternoon, this is when the choppiness started, when the reality of Trump's selection, and then also, of course, the analysis of whether he's going to be any good or not, created a choppy session, as you can see there, very choppy. So The first trade is a black dot, which means that it was stopped out. I will just wind that back and show you. So the market then put in a potential buy, cancelling the sell, and then the sell went to the scalp, and then it reversed, put in a sell, which went to the scalp, and then we had another, we're going up or are we going down situation, and then the sell side had the win down to the 200 MA, and then that reversed and came back up through the psychological level there as well, and then we had another potential sell, but we've already been down once, so that one, as we tested the 200 MA, managing to reverse and then stuck in a sideways move there as we went into the evening. So a quick look at what we can expect during today. At the moment, prices are sideways. We're below yesterday's low, so a bit of weakness around here going into the Thanksgiving holiday, which we start tomorrow with a half-day session, closed on Thursday and Friday. So as we have that situation, this will be the last market alert of the week. Have computer issues which I'm about to head off for a 2-hour drive to get sorted, and then I can spend the next 3 days making sure everything's ready for Monday. So with that, have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.